Okay, people. So today is still August 5th. This is what Andre and I did yesterday. You can see I got that beautiful mulch, right, that makes nice dirt from when they were just trimming down their trees or doing whatever they were doing over there. So you can see I've leveled it all out. Whoops, sorry. So now I'm going to get some seaweed by way. In other words, I'm either going to go to the ocean and get it, or I'm going to go to the grocery store and buy it. It depends, right? I'm asking my son to take me to the ocean just to go get a bit of seaweed so we can mix it up in there, right, before winter. And so hopefully we'll be able to do that. And then you can see I've started already to build a little something. They're going to go on that side. My son is going to have certain parts, like up in here, he wants to take over that spot. But I haven't even gotten in there yet. There's grapes in there, people. So, and we got to make sure that we don't kill the roots either, right? Anyway, that's not really what I wanted to say. Look what I found yesterday when I was digging in that pile. This is a mango plant. One of the seeds actually rooted. So I'm gonna, since I'm a little jittery today from all that sledgehammering, it's only in temporary dirt. I have to give it dirt from like where it came from in terms of more mulch, drainage. So I'm going to transplant that today. And I just wanted to point out how everybody is just peacefully coexisting in here. I can't get over this room. Oh, they're dry though. They need water. So I'm going to have to go get my hose and give them water. You can see they're drooping. All right. And it's still pretty green in here. And since I'm transplanting a mango tree, there's that red Concord grape, right? Yeah. Dry. I have to get in here and water these, like ASAP, which I'll do. And then, I don't know, I keep thinking about my warrior plant here. This one. I love this tree. There's that little oak tree. So I'm going to try and get in there and either I'm going to let them grow together and treat them like a bonsai. Oak trees don't require a lot of space to maintain their growth in terms of height and all that. With roots, they can live in very small pots. This one here will spread out, but I'm not too worried about it at this point. I'm debating whether I should leave the two of them together and see which one overwhelms the other. At this point, they don't seem to be too affected, just as a science experiment, to see if they come together, and who knows, right? Or I may dig it up, I'm not sure yet. Hold on. But before any of that happens, I'm in my favorite spot in life. Right? So what I'm going to do now is go through these grapes that are dehydrating, condense them down so I can get some extra trays, and then wash and process what I got yesterday as I was working on that compost, building that compost box, which will eventually turn into a garden bed, right? And my son is going to do further on down that way with Andre, right? So, depending on how much I get done with the grapes, and it's hot out there, people. So, I'm kind of dizzy with my eyes today, right? So, I don't know, it's probably better if I go out and play in the dirt. When it's cooler, sometimes I get so, in the trenches, talk about ground zero, I'm under the leaves of the grapevine, and and getting in my hair, and I'm like digging, or wherever I go, by the time you come in, you're like, ooh. So when you have a shower and you put on clean clothes, and the last thing you want to do is go back outside and get dirty all over again. It happens though, but not today. Not today. I don't really have anything to say because To be honest with you, I am kind of feeling positive for the board director, only because he's being persistent. He's pestering me. So being that he's pestering me, that shows me that he's motivated, right? And he's interested. And it's more than being interested. It's actually being motivated. And being that I know what it is, people. Well, I know in part what it is. Right? So maybe what I'll do is I'll upload this, and then I'm going to just refrain myself and shut off the computer and focus on the grapes. You don't need to see me doing all that, right? Finding a new topic to talk about. I kind of want to just stay on the positive right now, because there's a lot of shitty shit going on in my life. And, life is really hard right now because I'm behind on things and a lot of things. But I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to upload this and just, take the extra hour. I'm going to have to get into my external hard drive and transfer all these videos that I've made since I cleared out the computer, and now put them onto the external hard drive so I can free up the hard disk space on my work computer over here on the table before I get too far behind on that one. So that's something I have to do. But when it comes to sitting down and typing, now I'm debating, because I got to write this lawsuit, right, for Sept, right? I'm debating whether I should do 20 pages and maybe just do, what do you call it? 5 or 10. 5. Because I don't have the money to pay this time for the lawsuit. The last time, because I came in on February 17th, right? 3 to 5 days before they hold on a minute. Andre, I know you can hear me talking. And it was, more than 300 pages, right? One was 162 pages. The other one was pushing 200 just for the initial lawsuit. And 2 separate ones I had to pay twice. And when I went in to use their computer to fill out the form, because they go by forms, I mean, what makes a good lawyer is that you're on top of the forms and you can submit those forms in a timely manner, preferably sooner than later. If you can do that, then your chances of being a successful lawyer are extremely high, because that's half the court game. And obviously that's where I come with a big F, fail. I cannot keep up with the forms. I don't understand the forms. But besides that point, when I went to go file it, their system, their computer system, wouldn't allow me to import all those pages so that it would run through their printer and come out under their form. So because of that, I had to file it, I guess you can say, as an independent and pay straight up cash, $200 per lawsuit, to get it into the system. And that's what happened, right? And then once it got into the system, it's almost like it cracked some of the walls within the courthouse, because nobody had ever seen that amount of information written down for a lawsuit. Never mind have it go through the court system, right? And of course, I'm targeted, and the corporations, they don't want to take responsibility for what they did. They pulled their strings with their dirty antics. And because there are judges that are bought off within the court system in the province of British Columbia, Canada, we're here today, right? So just to avoid that snag, now, I don't remember his name anymore. I'm thinking Bowden, but that could have been the one that falsified his files. But Master, that's what his name was, Master Taylor. Since Master Taylor allowed me 20 pages in my head, I'm thinking, well, do the 20 pages and submit it. But now that I've been through that experience, I'm thinking, will their system even allow me to print out 20 pages and file it under hardship poverty in regards to that wavering of $200 to file that lawsuit, because on the standard of practice, I wouldn't necessarily call it the best practice, but with their standard of practice, they only want 5 pages. So last night, I'm like, come on, Judy, you got to get up on it. You got to sit in front of the computer. You got to go type. You got to go type. You know how many words, people, I have typed over the years, right? Since this nonprofit. Seriously. I'm so typed out and so disgusted with the politics that go. It doesn't matter if it's charity. It doesn't matter if it's for justice. It doesn't matter if you're trying to defend yourself in some other fucking whatever you find yourself in. If you're not the one holding the cards and you're waiting for your hand to be dealt, as the ones that are dealing the hand to you are cheating, like, you don't get very far in life, right? And that's why women and children are easy targets, because we don't have the income to fight back. We don't have the professional this and the professional that and the team of this and the team of that. And we sure in the hell don't have public tax dollars to just willy-nilly spend as we would want to spend it. We're sitting ducks. So I'm like, okay, now you're reduced down to 5 pages if you want to get that $200 waiver. And don't forget, the last time I went to court to get a fucking waiver, that judge, the only balls that he had between his legs was to send me to the cops. And he knows that the cops are crooked, right? So, he didn't deal with the waiver, people. He completely ignored it. Right? As I'm being told one thing, and then Andrew the Dragon comes in and does everything that I was told not to do. In regards to, you're only allowed 3 pages. 3 pages of something. Right? And then you go and you give it, and then you go into the front of the judge, and then along comes Andrew with his big ass fucking badass, big ass fucking binder with his little supplement court cases that don't relate to Uncle John in any way. And because the judge couldn't throw it out on a federal level, people, he sent it to the cops. But we know what I'm dealing with when it comes to fucking dirty cops. So I'm reduced down to 5 pages. If I want my notice of claim, right, to go through their system so that the right form can be printed out on their printer, right? Because I don't have the $200 to come in with my 20 pages, where their system won't fucking print out the 20 pages. And I'm like, well, that's a big fucking gamble. What can you say in 5 pages? Right? But I'm trying not to worry about that, people. But what it does is it makes a mental block for me when it comes down to sit down and type something. Because oftentimes when it's typed out, it means nothing. You could spend years, months, days, fucking decades typing, and it won't get you anywhere. So there's a part of you that begins to shut down. Even though you know there are people out there that want you to fucking sit down and type that shit out now, after the damage has been done. It's just, and especially when you've got so many things to do like me, right? But I want to stay positive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the lady of the house next door a jar of this, a jar of this, and I'll get a jar of raisins for her husband, and with a little note saying, these are the things you can do with your grapes. Your grapes. They're your grapes. Right? Because the thing about Punjabis is they don't necessarily like a lot of sugar. They cook and they eat with sugar. They have their sweets and all this other stuff. So they can't say that they're anti-sugar, because they're not. But what they do like is fresh food, right? They prefer to eat it fresh versus preserved, right? But they're not stupid either. They know they have to preserve food. So this is one way to preserve food, right? And being that maybe, I mean, I'm pretty sure they know what jam is. I know that they know what syrup is, but maybe she never had a grapevine before, people, just like with me with those black walnuts. I never seen a black walnut tree until I was 50. You know, maybe this lady over here never had her own grapevine, and now that it's there, you know, you just don't know. And now that she knows, right, I'm thinking to, like, she can try it. And then if she likes it, then she'll be more apt to get her husband, you know, out there fixing up the trellises so that she can have her bounty next year, right? And then she'll be making her own jam and her own syrups and her own raisins. And then on a foundation perspective, people, and this is why I say I'm going to upload it on this note, on a foundations perspective. When you go into the history of the foundation and you look at its mandate and you look at its constitution and the vision of 100 years, 50 years, 100 years, you know, 1,000 years, it's all based around basically food, right? So through what I'm trying to say is maybe this grapevine might be the introduction to a larger program when it comes to processing food, whether it's canning facilities in the province of British Columbia, Canada, so that we can break away from that corrupt, freaking gross national product that is being sustained on the death of young people who are being accused of abusing themselves and killing themselves just so that the public union sector can continue to rape and pillage this province. When you're angry like that, it is hard to sit down and type shit out and feel positive. However, I can take time to write it out, hand it over to the board director and say, there you go. And maybe this lady, we don't know who she knows and what strings she might, well, apron strings. We don't know whose apron strings she might pull so that she can put the fire under her husband's feet to get more grapevines growing in the province. And then we can bring in a more balanced society where, you know, we're actually producing a product that not only can sustain ourselves as a population within the province of British Columbia, Canada, but when you take it to a foundation level and you have that surplus, then you can put a big vat of raisins in a big drum and you can send it to countries who need it for their children and families. That is the mission of the foundation, people. Okay? Long term, I won't see it happen, right? So let's not underestimate this board director that is pestering me to do something. So I don't know. I can't go in front of a computer right now. I got brain fog, right? And I've been reduced down to 5 pages for shemay, right? Because I know if I go in with 20 pages to the Supreme Court of Canada crying poverty, they're going to tell me that those 20 pages isn't going to go through their system under their form because their system isn't designed to take 20 pages. It's only designed to take 5. Right? Anyway, I'm going to upload this now. And then I'm just going to shut everything down. And I'm going to focus on grapes. And I'm going to grab some lined paper and put it in a little binder for myself. And I'm just going to start doing everything by hand. Right? Versus sitting there trying to type it out. Because if this jar of syrup with berries, well, grapes in it, and this jar of jam with organic grapes and all those beautiful saltine raisins, right, that are organic, bring about positive change in this province, because it just took one woman to realize that after, we'll just assume she's 50 years old. I don't think she's 50, but we'll just assume that after 50 years, she herself came across a blessing. Then my job is done, people. That's, when I leave, as I said, I'm not coming back. My job is done. I've done my fucking job.